girls are out. It's just the boys, and we can call this the boy zone, right, guys? Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. So this is middle ground, boys only. This is the boy zone, like BQ, boys quarters.
Boy said.
Hey, on set here, I have Pharaoh. Everybody knows Pharaoh. Yeah, Pharaoh the Great. What's up, Pharaoh?
What's good?
Been a
I'm
bit.
alright.
Been a bit, bruh.
Yeah, man. How we go do now? How we go do?
What's been the hustle?
It's all good. Tinubu is the hustle. It's the recent hustle, you know. So, but so far so good. I mean,
Yeah.
we're hanging in there. We're still pushing. We're still,
Pharaoh the Great.
doing what we do.
Pharaoh the Great.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
It's a pleasure, brother.
Same here, man.
Hey, Velmo.
Hey.
So let me tell you guys something. Velmo walked into this place and all the girls were like, wow, the famous Victor Velmo. Nobody ever tells me famous Wale P.
I mean,
Velmo, what's up?
I'm good, my bro. How's it going?
We're fine. We're there. We're pushing it. Like Pharaoh said, Tinubu is the new hustle.
I mean,
tell you.
Tinubu might be the new.
I'm not really. Might be. When you say might,
Here's the
like it's not the big deal.
here's the shit right now. You know.
Yeah. When I say him, I actually mean like the present scenario of things in the
Yeah,
country. That's what I
the
mean.
one
Not
who's
like
causing-
him.
And
in
around,
particular.
in and around the
You know,
country. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Talk about
that's-
around the country.
yeah.
Big So, Pharaoh, you were saying music hustle
Yeah.
and everything. So how's it been?
Like I said, you know, the world has changed now. Back in the days, we had to like go to Lagos and all that just to get our music out, just to be heard, you know, and stuff like that. But now, with your phones, from your houses, from your home, you know, you can sort out online distribution platforms. You can have your music out there in a couple of weeks to a month, depending on how fast you can have your songs recorded and all that stuff. So it's a bit easier. It's like taking the good with the bad. I mean, there are the downsides to it, plus the high sides of how it used to be in comparison, that kind of thing. But it's about moving forward and making the best of whatever is available to us right now at hand. So
Growth,
so
yeah?
far so good.
Growth.
Growth.
Yeah.
Growth is growth.
And one thing, you still support Man U?
Definitely.
You know, Velmo,
Yeah.
Definitely.
I bumped into this guy at a pub
Yep.
where he was chilling. And, you know, Pharaoh is the master of blending.
Inconspicuous.
Yes, very inconspicuous. He's not somebody you can tell. Pharaoh is the master of blending. He just blended into everybody in that bar. But I kept on, and you know, look at his hat. You know, he just covered his face
You
and
know, with the hat low.
with the hat low, you know. And I was like, yo, brother, who you they run from? We know you. Anyway, Velmo, what's
Yeah.
been up with you?
I mean, before I respond to that, let me just quickly say how honored I am to be here with Ferocious. I go very way back with Ferocious, and I still remember the first time I came in contact with Pharaoh. I was still in secondary school. I think I was in SS3.
Ironio.
Facts only. I'm telling you the truth, bro.
That's crazy. That's
So,
crazy. Yeah.
I think we're just done with school then. I noticed flyers of Ferocious album launch. It was just littered all over the school, Model Secondary School, Maitama. You know, I saw the National Assembly logo on it. I'm like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? So, I mean, I was so little, even though my house was in Area 10, but I could not attend the...
You lived in Area 10?
Yes, so
Area 2 boy.
yeah, so I could not attend the album launch, you know, but a few days down the line, I found the CD available along UTC Road where you come out and buy your CD. So I bought the CD and oh my God, I was impressed. I was blown away. Throw your hands like say nothing they happen. Nothing they happen. Yeah, so that was it for me.
I keep saying it. One of my favorite Pharaoh lines. I told him the last time we were sitting down, we were watching the game.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Pharaoh lines was not on a song of Pharaoh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was on illegal album.
MI.
Yeah.
Illegal music.
Illegal music. Illegal
It's,
music.
his
2.
first mixtape.
Is it the first one?
No,
or
no, the
second
first one. Illegal music.
The one that has
Feeling Good.
Feeling good.
Feeling Good.
Thought I
Illegal
was the
Music 1.
champion when it came to sampling.
Sampling.
Till MI put a smile on my face like
Like
Charlie
Charlie
Chaplin.
Chaplin.
Man, that line
that's what's
bust
up.
my head. Back
what's
then, like, whoa.
You know the funny thing, there was no social media then.
There wasn't.
So I introduced the song, the artist. You know when you discover a new artist, I introduced Pharaoh the artist to my guys, Mr. Nelson and Chiki Cheesy, and Nelson was blown away as well. So we equally set off. We trekked from Area 10 all the way to Area 3, went to KD World, looked for Ferocious just to say hi to the big bro, and you know that
Oh,
that relationship would eventually turn into a feature.
Yes.
Me and my group grandsons, we eventually got a feature of us from Ferocious on the song called Hip Hop Parole. And Pharaoh, I just want to say I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
You know, so let's from here segue into what we are talking about, because it's a boy talk.
Yeah.
And it's something that really, no matter how you look at it, it's a good thing that you put in the work.
Definitely.
That we put in the work.
Yeah.
When we did. Because if you didn't, you probably will be in prison now, God forbid, dead now, or
You never know. Yeah.
incapacitated.
Yeah.
Or
you never know.
maybe just starting to discover your path.
Yes,
know or
maybe
something,
just starting to
yeah.
discover your path. But in all of this,
Yeah.
and I'm not taking this away from the girls, but from a man to man point of view, or from a boy point of view, we all experience the midlife crisis at every point in time in our lives.
Yeah.
The midlife crisis, and I don't know. Your definition of midlife? What did I keep? What I keep calling it midlife? Midlife crisis. Your definition of it might be different from my definition.
Definitely.
But my definition of midlife crisis is, I'll call it that thing, that event that really makes you, that thing that happens before you really discover who you are as a man. Am I right?
Yes. I kind of agree with you. Yes. We're basically going to say the same things, but we're just going to come from different angles. Yes.
From different angles.
Yes.
And largely, I don't know, what is that? Because, okay, let Pharaoh is the star here. He's the big boss. So let's ask Pharaoh. What was that thing? That thing that happened midlife that spoil you, that can make you now call yourself an adult? And you know, by an adult, not that you've started making money, because money really does not totally define a man.
Of course.
To a very large extent.
Of course.
I don't know if you agree with me.
Of course.
Debatable, but let's move on.
Okay, so there has to be something. Okay, let me start from me. I think the one thing that happened to me that really, really made me now realize that this is life, I think was two things, actually, not one thing. The first thing was the passing of my dad.
Oh, okay.
And it was not the passing, not the death itself. It was what happened when he died. I'll tell you what that is. So, you know, around here when your dad passes, they bring the son. And you come out, and obviously he was in the mortuary. After the whole burial arrangements, I said, okay, son, come. I rolled out the body from the fridge, threw him on the floor. And they're like, is that your dad? You know, you have, as the son, you need to identify your dad before he can be signed. You have to even, okay, I was a kid then, so nothing like, I don't even know how to sign. And I would not be allowed to sign because I have other older ones.
Of course.
So I was told, is that your dad? And I looked at that man like, come to think of it. Popsy, where they holler me for house. Look at him, lifeless. That was one. the event number one, that really made me know that as much as you hustle, as much as you try to achieve, as much as you try to aggregate wealth, influence, and everything, that's where it all ends.
Yeah.
That's number one event. The second one was the birth of my son.
I hear some
From
people
death
say
to life.
I hear some people say it's even more interesting than the day they got married, especially guys. Yeah, that's it. It's a better day for them than the day they got married.
You saw John Wick,
Yeah.
the last installment.
Yeah.
Remember that saying? 2 times a man should look good in his life. When he's about to get married,
Or when,
and
when he's about to
be
die.
buried.
Because both times you'll be wearing a tux. Both times you'll be wearing a tux.
Yeah, you're always wearing a tux. In our own case, they're not. I feel they wear like one big expensive agbada now.
I thought last year. But that's in the Niger side of things.
Yeah. So for me, those are the 2 events that really shook me, and I started reading, listening to older opinions. Generally, I could mark that as my own midlife, the beginning of my midlife crisis. That was So, basically that formed the beginning of my midlife crisis, and other things. Yeah, relationship came in.
Definitely.
But to the glory of God, anyway. I would say I've been blessed, largely. So.
From my angle, midlife crisis, I think my definition might differ from yours slightly. Because from growing up and all that, when I used to hear the term midlife crisis being used, and I'm watching movies and maybe see when somebody was referred to as going through midlife crisis or something, it almost seemed like temporal insanity, partly. Because this is someone that would normally do A, B, and C, all of a sudden doing G,
H, and I.
And probably even Z, where Z was not even required, and so it's so that's why I think that's why the crisis was attached to it, because now whatever has happened to him in his life or her life has made this person flip. He has completely turned a new page, be it good or bad. But now the good thing about midlife crisis is it's never permanent. It's a phase you go through. Things just switch up for you. You act a certain type of way during that phase, and then after that phase, you actually know where your direction is or what the best direction for you is, and then you reset. Now, that reset, there's definitely going to be changes from how you were before, but the extreme phase that you're going through was just to help you find this new direction that you would now take. That's like my definition of midlife, at least from what I understand of it. So in your case, I wouldn't call it midlife crisis. I would say those are things that molded you into an adult before you became an adult. I wouldn't really call it midlife crisis, because none of these things were really a crisis to you. They never really plagued your life. Of death is death, of course. The person was buried, you moved on, life continued. But it wasn't like a crisis you lived through or you're living through for the rest of your life. It hurt you for that moment, and you've kind of moved on. You made it seem like you were a lot younger then, right?
Yeah, I was a lot younger. I was a lot younger, and okay, so it's not like I don't totally differ. But again, like I said, it was the beginning, because when my dad passed, I became the dad.
Oh, okay.
You understand? I don't know if you understand.
Now, the term is midlife, right?
Yeah,
and
yes.
Because it's midlife now, you have to be at a certain age. You should have been like a man.
Yeah, to experience
lived
it.
a life as a man to a certain point, and people knew you as this type of man. And then all of a sudden, went through something and you just became a different person. Started driving a pink car, dyed your hair yellow at the age of 49.
Like, bro, what's going on?
And everybody's like, what's wrong with this guy? He starts wearing tight jeans. He starts seeing him driving around with the youngest girls in town. He's like,
wait,
everybody's like, what's wrong with this guy?
Okay, so I would like that kind of midlife crisis.
Oh, trust me, you don't want to have that.
It can happen to anyone. I won't say everybody will go through midlife crisis, but it can happen to anyone. Things can just offset you at a certain point in time. Like, it could actually be death of somebody very close to you that might just throw you into a zone where you just feel like, what is life? But from what I think I've understood is a lot of midlife crisis comes from regret. 80% of the time is from regret. From what I understand, is regret.
Yeah.
You find out either a path you are taking in life was a complete waste of time. And then you just want to, or you just wake up one morning and you find out that you literally woke up and left half of your hair on the bed. And all of a sudden you are bald. And you used to be like the toast in school of the guy with that afro puff. And from that point, you are wondering, what am I doing with my life? Like, so I go start the barb low cut now, or the barb no low. So at that point, he's confused. There's depression might set in. He's just going through that whole phase. And then he now has to overcompensate. But overcompensating, he could start doing whatever he needs to do to prove that I'm not as old as my hair. I still be young man. Yeah. And then he might start trying to overcompensate by doing the most outlandish shit just to prove a certain point. That
why does it look like Pharaoh is talking about me?
You feel you feel attacked?
Why does it look like the guy just they throw shades at me?
No.
But seriously, Velmo, let's hear you.
Oh, well, for me, like the term is midlife crisis. You have to have gotten to a certain stage in your life. You have to have lived through a lot of phases and seen a lot, For me, I would say yet to have a midlife crisis. However, I've had things that, gave me a wake-up call. There are moments that, you take it as your wake-up call to wake up. So for me, I remember one time I was trying to do a promotion for one man. He's rich and wealthy, so I got into his son came back from the UK and all of that. He invited me to his house and we're trying to talk and all of that. And then he said something that all my life I have never made a mistake. That all my life I've never made a mistake.
You haven't
No,
made a
the
mistake.
man. This is a wealthy, rich man somewhere in Wuse too, big house, saying all my life I've never made a mistake. I always know what I want to do. I always know what I want. So he brought me on board to assist his son so he can get him where he's going to, because he does not want him to make a mistake. And they say experience is the best teacher. A friend of mine, Cheesy, also told me something extra to that. He said it must not be your experience. So what I do over the years is that, I try as much as I can not to make mistakes. So when I was approaching my 30s, that was when I had a wake-up call, the second wake-up call in my life. I was like, okay, bro, okay, you're about to open the third chapter. Is this how you want to get in there? I had dreadlocks, I had dreads. I was way deep in the music game. And, it wasn't looking like it was giving anymore. I'm like, okay, how do you want to approach this? How do you want to approach this? From here onward, you are going to hit 40.
Of course.
So how do you want to go about this? So for me, that was like my second wake-up call. So I had to, you have to do a restock. So you don't get to your 50s and 60s and you start scratching your head and say, what did I do with my life? So I did a restock, I did an evaluation, an honest one, a very honest one. Then I found out the path that is best for me. And, I followed through because, I'm basically trying to avoid this midlife crisis. So I gave myself a wake-up call, the second one. The first one was, when my mom passed, I was very young then. I was like 17 and all. That was a very big wake-up call, trying to, go through life and all of that. Then something funny happened. I would normally reach out to my bro, my older brother, for money. Make it tip me. So he had just gotten married and he was still trying to balance married man life, single guy life with a lot of siblings depending on him. Yeah. So one day he called me and said I should call his wife and tell her XYZ. I'm like, bros, I better leave me, Jerry. I'm not in the mood. I don't want to do it and all of that. So I called him back the next day or a few days after requesting for some funds. Guess what he told me? He said, in this life, you have to earn your money. That I asked you to do something for me, you did not do it, and you just want me to give you money. And that's not something he does. He has never told me that before. If I ask, I'll get, or he's going to post me. And he did that. I was like, oh my gosh, you did not just do that. And that was a big wake-up call for me to mature up into a man phase, So that for me, that has just been it for me. So I try as much as I can. Of course, you cannot avoid mistakes, but you don't want to make mistakes that you are going to be neck deep in it in like an half 5 years and you're regretting, you want to kill yourself. What have I done? I try.
So you see, Pharaoh, I want to address something that Velmo said about that man.
Yeah.
That's in my life, I've never made mistake.
That's actually a very
It's
strong thing to
It's
say.
a very strong thing to say.
Yeah.
It's a very, very strong thing to say. Maybe the person might just come out and say, look, I've never made a financial mistake.
I don't think so.
When it comes to decisions,
He was so confident. He said, you can ask my friends. Do you understand that everything that he has never made a mistake in life, like a regrettable mistake, like everything down to his wife, business, his kids, everything. Do you understand? So that's how much. I was just meeting him for the first time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when you see affluence, you can tell. You can tell.
Sorry.
So, but obviously, I mean, if you dig deeper, you find some things. But I don't think with what he was trying to say, he has never made a costly one.
Yeah.
And his son was about to get into music. Imagine a son coming from that kind of background. Your father sent you to the UK to study, and you wake up and say, "Yo, I want to be a musician." It's like, this is not the road for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay, so let's talk about what I'm going to call the journey within. Now, for normal people like us that make mistakes, when you see, it takes a real matured person to first own up to yourself
Yeah.
that this is a mistake.
Yeah.
That's the first step to knowing that, yes, I need to make it right. First, you must, I mean, this, like they say, if it's not broken,
Don't
fix it. So you must know that it is broken first before you make moves to fix it. Now, in fixing it, some people turn into something else. And when I say something else, it could be something else for the good, something else for the worse.
Like I said, sometimes it could be the overcompensation now. You're just trying to make up for,
Yes,
So
it
I
could
agree,
be the
yeah.
overcompensation. Now, some turn. So I'll use two extremes and a center.
Okay.
So on this extreme, some turn to God. On this other extreme, some they turn to
The streets
the streets.
and whatever it entails.
And on this extreme, some will just say, let me sleep, wake up, tomorrow will be better. Hope. They hope on hope. So, again, I'm going to use myself. In my own case, it was a mixture of street and God.
Okay.
In my own case, it was a mixture of street and God. And I'll explain what that means. So, I have my hands full with production, content creation, and everything. So, I started doing it on the street to make ends meet. And at the same time, I started doing it for the church,
Okay.
side by side. Now, I am not that guy that will go for a deliverance service. No. You understand? But I believe in service
True.
to God
True.
through humans.
True.
That's my own belief. So that is how I was able to deal with my own crisis in my own little way.
Yeah.
You understand? So, no pun, no, I'm not insulting anybody.
Of course.
Some people turn to Babalawo and shit. Some go diabolical all the way. Because, so it's another thing again for you to be able to know the role you played in how you got to that point. And if you are able to know the role that you played, then you'll be able to know the role that you will play to get out of it. But some people, on the other hand, believe that it's the doing of somebody or something.
That messed you up.
And it keeps them more, it makes them stay longer inside that midlife crisis. And they get engulfed in it for a very long time. I'm just saying this because I wanted to know, how did you handle your own? And how did you handle it? We'll get to where you are in the scheme of things right now, but how did you handle it?
I think pretty much in my own case, it was just a case of just realizing what was best for you going forward. Like Velmo said, sometimes you just with some of my close friends, we use the term I had to bone marrow myself. As in down to your bone marrow, you can't lie to yourself. As in
X-ray.
Bone marrow yourself. As in go down to your core, you can't lie to yourself. That kind of thing. So I literally had to like bone marrow myself. Like, guy, it's either A or it's B. As in right now, as in you have to make something out of this hustle or out of this life or out of you as a person.
Did you deprive yourself
forward.
of anything?
Not really. I don't. If I did, it wasn't intentional. I don't think I ever deprived myself of anything. I think at the point I even dabbled. I won't say dabbled. At the point I even went through like a phase of depression at some point. Yes, I don't really like talking about it because I'm not a big fan of people that try to make a big deal out of. They try to sensationalize depression and all that, and looking for sympathy and whatnot. I mean,
this artwork is depressed.
I mean, yes, some people need help. I mean, yes, some people need help. Some people never know that they need help. That kind of thing. So yes, I get it. But I think the answer lies like how psychologists, when they try to treat you, you first have to admit that there is a problem.
True.
You have to know that this problem needs to be changed. The first step to the change actually comes from you. That bone marrow, you have to bone marrow yourself.
You have to bone marrow
that
yourself.
Change comes from you.
Hashtag bone marrow. Hashtag bone marrow yourself.
The change actually comes from you. So with that being said, it was one of those moments where I just had to bone marrow myself and then, guy, going forward, when your kids hear about your story years from now, how would they feel if they hear this or they hear this? How would your parents feel if they hear this or they hear this and stuff like that? So I just had to find a way to just move and stay focused.
You didn't go all...
I wouldn't say I ever... No, I didn't. Like I said, the thing that actually took me off a bit was the depression. And I realized I started feeling sorry for myself. And I was like, why? Nobody put you here. You put yourself here. It's choices you made that got you here. So why are you feeling sorry for yourself? So I just had to... It took a while, but I snapped out of it and, back on track.
No...
Trust me,
my
story
involvement, no chick involvement.
I mean, there were chick involvements here and there, but none of the relationships ever
brought you out of it.
Ever got me to any of those points. It was just okay. This one didn't work out. On to the next.
On to the next one.
That type of thing. I mean, if it's meant to be, it will be that kind of thing. So I never really stressed it.
I wouldn't have liked those girls though. If I was you seriously, because if I was in this situation, I mean. There's a Yoruba proverb that says, "Ere kila jambe kunshe." What it means is, what is the business? What kind of play is a lion playing with a dog?
That's a meal right there.
Yeah,
No, but seriously, what is our relationship if you cannot help me? I mean, so help different from help. Here, I'm not saying you should come and cook for me. I'm not saying you should give me money. I'm not saying you should accommodate me. I'm just saying good words, kind words.
Mentally stable.
Mentally, help me mentally. And, well, it might sound simple, maybe because we are sitting down here. It sounds simple,
in real life.
But seriously, Velmo.
Yeah.
So why? It's a good thing you've never gone through midlife crisis.
But I've had lows though.
Of course.
I've had lows. If I say I've not had lows, I'll be telling a lie. I've had lows.
I pray you do have midlife crisis because it actually makes you better.
I pray I don't have a midlife crisis. Maybe hit lows. Bounce back. Yeah, you can hit lows. I mean, it's life. Things, events, and relationships. All of that may go south. Business, life in general. You get me. You can hit your lows, but not a full-blown midlife crisis. Not a full-blown midlife crisis.
No, trust me, full-blown. Trust me, I've seen some of those weird cases.
Yeah.
I have friends that all of a sudden, as at the last few years, have kind of cut off from everyone else that was their friend, pretty much because they just locked themselves somewhere and felt like the world was against them.
Yeah.
And they're just by themselves. They've chosen to be that way.
And that's borderline. That's borderline depression, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's that same kind of thing. All we can do is just try to be supportive as much as we can and hope they snap out of it one day and then, just get back to being whoever they were, because the world is not against you, bro.
So the thing is it that they are just locked up in their own cocoon, or they are taking their time to think?
They don't know.
It's
a crisis. They actually don't know. It's a crisis. They are going through something. It's mental, it's emotional, they don't understand who they are anymore. They are not happy with where they are. They're not happy with the way the world perceives them. They're not happy with the way they perceive the world. It's in their head. And then that also leads to when I was saying you go and dye your hair pink. You just feel like whoever I was a waste of time. I wasted my entire life. I need to be somebody else. Maybe the world will appreciate a different version of me. And then they start trying so hard to do everything that they weren't doing before, they start trying to do it. Start trying to go after the youngest girls to make them feel young. Drive green cars, paint your hair yellow.
And you don't be military.
Start wearing, like, if let's say everybody is wearing baggy jeans, they'll come out and wear skinny jeans just to prove a point. It's in their head.
Just to prove a point, or
just to fight that feeling that they are trying to run away from. Or something.
So now the thing is this. That how we got here is we were talking about the journey within.
Within,
yeah.
Now, Velmo,
yeah,
you are about to talk about your own journey within at your own low.
Okay, so I hit a low as a result of a relationship. That was a real low, So it's depressing. It's sad. It's a down feeling. It affects your productivity, and But here's a good thing about life. I think being aware of certain things helps you get out of it, even when it happens to you. It's like, oh, this is what it is. You can hear someone say, first thing is to admit. Next thing you take ownership, and then you seek help. Yeah, and all of that. When you hear it as a story or just on paper, it looks like that's what it is. Until it happens to you, then you now realize that putting it in practical is not that easy.
It's not that easy.
Yeah, but here's one thing that must happen. When you are aware, when you have the awareness that this is how this thing is. So first of all, you have to admit this, and you have to now start working your way out of it. Of course, you're going to feel down. Of course, you're going to feel sad. There are days where you're not going to be in the mood. There are days where you're going to feel like you are going crazy. But what you do need to know is that, like in my case, I knew that this is a feeling.
Yeah.
This is a feeling. This is what comes with this thing I'm going through right now. So all I needed to do was gradually channel my energy towards something else. And what I'm saying, it took months, so it's not 2 months you're out of it. Like a long time, up to like 6, 4 months.
Channel your energy towards something.
Yeah.
Now Ludo you dey play.
No, it's not. Okay, like you have to get back to your normal life. Normal life has to continue. Then maybe you can develop, you can learn something new, you can learn a new skill, you can enroll for a class that you really don't care about, a class that just interests you.
Help, though?
Yes, it does. It does.
Sometimes it distracts you.
People say an idle man in the twinkle of an eye. It's going to take time. It's going to take months, depending, you understand. So, but the fact that you are aware, for example, you have a headache, you know that when you take Panadol, it's going to cure the headache. So what do? You take it and wait for it to kick in, and so that's just part of the process. Knowing what to do when you hit this point can help you get out of it, basically. You understand? If for example, something happened, an event happens in your life, and you start going through a midlife crisis, it's okay. Rock the boat. Rock it for like a month, 2. Enjoy it all you can, but when it's time, please wake up and get back to reality.
Please wake up. Okay, so guys, let's round up quickly. I've had some very good conversation with you guys, but at this point we will be rounding up. But Pharaoh, let me come to you here now. When you eventually, and everybody does, when you eventually snap out of it. Okay, let's use you as an example. When you snap out of it and you come back to reality, what's the first thing that you should do? So I have some options. One of them is would you advise somebody, or would you rather stay in that zone? When I say that zone of I'm healed, I'm not going back in there. Or, hey, life is a journey. It will be ups and it will be down. So let me just keep pushing and pushing. You know, it's one thing when you, just like the Yoruba proverb says, "Tomode ba shubu awo waju, tagbalagba ba shubu awo eyin." What it means is, when a young boy falls, he looks forward. When an old man falls, he looks backward. So, which is the best? Is it you heal, you get out of it, you stay there, you get out of it, and you just keep keep being cautious so that you don't fall into
You're
any
like in a
type,
shell now.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Or man, life is anyhow, just they push and they go.
I don't think there's like an actual answer for that, because it's to each his own, that kind of thing. Every, different strokes for different folks kind of thing. Some people's reasons for midlife crisis might have hit harder than someone else's. So the things he would have had to do to snap out of it, or even the things he had to do to overcompensate or overcorrect whatever the wrongs or regrets he might have had, might be different from someone else's. So I don't think the answer goes across board. I think different people would react differently. Speaking from my own perspective, of course, the one that makes more sense would be to adapt and just move, learn from your lessons, but always just, be open to new ideas, new opportunities, and try by every means to attack life realistically. Don't look for any quick fix or any sharp way to forget regret, or sometimes regret actually help. Sometimes you have to that's how you learn. Lessons are learned, and sometimes when you actually learn lessons, you regret first, but then the lesson is learned. So that kind of thing. So I would pretty much just say, the adapting and moving on, but not forgetting the lessons that have been learned. That kind of thing.
Velma?
I would say it's a case of the show must go on. You get me? And I think I've learned that resilience from the kind of work I do.
Being a showman yourself?
Yeah. So, because there are some days when we show up at the radio, you're feeling down, you're feeling sad. Some cases, you don't have enough money on you, maybe because of a bad business decision you made. But once that mic comes up, you cannot come and say, Abuja, I'm feeling sad.
Nobody cares.
You can try that once in a while, but that should not be your problem every time. So using that, applying that to real life, and in cases where a person hits low, I would say the show goes on. You understand? Of course, there are some days.
The show in this case being life.
Yes, life.
At the dawn of the day.
Life is going to go on. It's going to take you a while to get back on your track. Take you a while to get back on track. But regardless of what it is, you have to get back on track. Feel sorry for yourself. Throw your PT party, cry, do everything you need to do to heal. But please know that there's a goal. I mean, this life is too sweet. It is too beautiful. There's a lot more ahead of us. You understand? And, you have your 40s, your 50s, 60s, 70s. The world is so big. It's so big. There are places you want to travel to. There are more people you want to meet. So I'll say when it happens, take your L, chop them very well, throw your pity party. But when it's time, and you should know when it's time, just wake up, roll up your sleeves, do your stock, and get back to life and keep on moving. You don't know what's
There's one ingredient both of you are leaving out.
What's that?
Gratitude.
Oh yeah, of course.
Be grateful. Be grateful for those lessons.
Yes,
because on the other side of those lessons are some other things that could be worse.
It could have always been worse. Yes.
Yeah.
It could have always been worse.
Yeah.
But always be grateful.
I agree with that.
Pharaoh, so it's good to see you again.
Same here, bro.
So what's up with Man U this season?
Fingers crossed. Fingers
Really?
crossed. Fingers.
Have
I'm
you
not.
guys
I'm not
signed
really.
Haaland? Is it Haaland?
Hoyland or something. Is it Hoyland?
Hoyland, yeah.
Hoyland.
You guys got a fake Haaland?
Oh,
Wait.
Who's that? I'm just hearing about it.
Hoyland.
Rasmus
And they're already
Hoyland.
comparing him to
What wing does
Haaland.
he play?
She's a 9.
He's a
Oh
9.
man, who did that to that brother, man?
Who you support Man City?
Yeah, I'm a big Man City fan. Started supporting Man City since 2008.
Yeah, it's your time. Flex it.
Yeah.
Like I said, be grateful.
Yeah.
Lessons learned.
Yeah, lessons learned.
Yes.
Yes.
To be
Yes, sir.
grateful.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's Middle Ground, boys only. We did it the boys only way. And we are out. Don't forget to always like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Links is in bio. Links everywhere. Is it everywhere?
I mean,
Anyhow, just link
anyhow,
up.
just link up and stay connected.
And we are out.